We had the opportunity of getting our hands on this 1/10 scale 4-wheel drive electric short course truck. We put it through its paces, driving it in a few different environments. So today we're going to take a look at the Losi Tenacity SCT 4-wheel drive short course truck. The Tenacity SCT is a 1/10 scale short course truck that's based off of the 10 platform from Team Losi Racing. Now the 10 platform was a competition ready race truck essentially. It was a 4x4 short course truck but designed for competition. Now that platform has just been reworked slightly to provide this RTR Tenacity SCT. Now when this vehicle was first released, it was released as a brushless model. Now we have the brushed version of the Tenacity SCT. Now even in the brushless and the brushed model, you also have two different color/body schemes to choose from. Also, the brushless and brushed model do not include a battery. So for instance, with this particular model, you will need to include your own battery pack as well as a battery charger and 4 AA batteries for the transmitter. Now, if we get this body off to take a look at the chassis internally, it looks very much like the 10 platform. One of the biggest exceptions is we have this composite chassis. The 10 used an aluminum chassis. Additionally, we have this big brace that goes along the top from the front to the back to add extra rigidity because we don't have that aluminum chassis. On the bottom is also how you'll load your batteries. We just have this turn dial right here. Turn it so the flat spot matches the flat spot in the battery box, and you can just kind of pull it up with your nails. I just kind of poke it from the other side and push it out. It works really well, and it is kind of an enclosed box with lips and lids here, so the battery pack actually sits right in there. And then there are foam spacers at the top, which you can remove to accommodate various sized batteries. But this battery box works really well. You don't have to take the body off to change your batteries when you're out having fun. You can just close the box like that, and then you turn the dial again. Now we found from driving the truck, a little bit of dirt and debris gets in that box, so it's really important to clean those walls and the sides off to make sure that's a good seal in there and it doesn't get all crudded up. Now if we take a look at the top, this is a ready to run, so it comes ready to go with all of your electronics. We have a 12-turn 550 brushed motor. We have a Dynamite 60 amp ESC, that's 2-cell LiPo compatible or 6-cell NIM battery compatible. For our steering servo, it's the Spectrum S605. And then for our radio gear, the Tenacity SCT includes the Spectrum STX2 and a waterproof receiver. I take that back. The receiver may not be waterproof. It may be the box that's waterproof. Nevertheless, all of the electronics are waterproof, and you don't have to worry about the receiver because I believe this has a watertight box. If it's not, maybe it's the receiver that's waterproof. I'm getting that mixed up. Nevertheless, the Tenacity SCT also features 3 gear differentials. They're fluid-filled for your rear, your center, and your front, just like on the race platform. We have full ball bearings, all metric hex hardware. We have 12mm hexes behind these wheels, so finding aftermarket compatible wheels is very easy. We also have 12mm big bore shocks on all corners. They're plastic bodies, but they are pretty smooth and none of them were leaking when we received our model. Now, when it came time to drive the Tenacity SCTE for battery power, we used a 2-cell LiPo. It is this Venom 5,000 milliamp. It's just the 30C pack, but it worked pretty darn good in the Tenacity SCTE. Run times with this pack fully charged were about 10.5 minutes, but that is driving the truck pretty much just pinned the whole time. So run times, if you drive a little bit more softer, are going to be even more extended beyond that, especially if you have a battery pack that has an even higher milliamp capacity. The first place we drove the Tenacity SCTE was out front in front of AMain Hobbies. We just went into the parking lot. Now, the first impressions with the truck, being a 4-wheel drive short course truck, is that it was super stable and easy to drive. We used the stock tires and we left the setup how it is out of the box. And the Tenacity is really easy to drive out of the box. Also, our runtime of about 10.5 minutes was done outside on the concrete where it was really high traction. Additionally, out there in the parking lot, we also ran a speed run using our Bushnell radar gun, and the top speed was about 22-23 miles an hour, somewhere in that area. But the Tenacity SCT is really torquey on the bottom end, and it could be geared up pretty easily. After we were done driving the Tenacity in the parking lot, we headed over to the Silver Dollar RC Raceway, which was the host of the 2013 IFMAR World Championships. Now, out there are two tracks at that facility. There is the larger 8-scale dirt track, and then the smaller 10-scale Astro track. We first went on the dirt and drove around that track a little bit, and the Tenacity felt like racing around a 4-wheel drive short course truck. Our only disadvantage is that some of the jumps out there are rather large, and we just didn't have the power to clear them. But jumping and landing, as long as you did it square and it was proper, everything worked really well, and racing out there with this truck could be really easily achieved. Now, after the dirt track, we went over to the Astro track, and the Tenacity SCT was just super stable, maybe a little too stable. With a little bit of setup change, racing on that Astro track would be pretty easy, just dialing in a little bit more steering because it had a little understeer on all that Astro traction. But ultimately, the truck did really well. It was really impressive driving around that track, and the power was plenty adequate for the 10th scale size jumps. So final thoughts with the Tenacity SCT. It is a great all-around truck that is really easy to drive, and I think one of the coolest things about it is that it is packaged as a basher, but it has the potential and capabilities of being a race truck if you wanted to, and having all that part support and accessory support and all those option parts to kind of turn this platform into whatever you want it to. It is ultra capable. I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. Thanks for watching our video on the Tenacity SCT. If you have any questions on this truck or anything else, you can go ahead and leave us a question or a comment below. And if you would like more information, we'll have some links down below for you as well. My name is Brett with AMain Hobbies, and thanks for watching.